3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
All right, welcome to Roots of Reality. I'm your host, Ben Baumann, and today's topic is, are we alone in the universe? So human beings have wondered about life beyond Earth for thousands of years. The ancient Greeks, for instance, speculated about the possibility of other worlds and whether there might be inhabited planets beyond Earth. This was even discussed by ancient philosophers like Epicurus long before we had the tools to observe the cosmos. Now, fast forward centuries later, and our understanding of the universe began to expand dramatically with the invention of the telescope in the early 1600s, where Galileo, Kepler, and other pioneers opened our eyes to the stars in ways people had never imagined. And since then, advancements in telescopes, both ground-based and in space, have transformed astronomy. As a result, today we can detect planets orbiting distant stars that we call exoplanets, and even identify planets that could potentially have life on them. However, this search for extraterrestrial life ultimately begs the question, why are we so fascinated by the idea of life on other planets in the first place? And I think a big part of this comes down to this kind of collective loneliness we have as a species that is trying to make sense of our own existence and trying to find meaning in our lives. You know, when we're grappling with these crazy questions that we often ignore in our day-to-day life, like why the hell are we here in the first place? You know, why do we die? Why can't we live forever? What exactly is death like? What does death exactly mean? And as a result, we wonder, maybe someone else is out there wondering the same thing or has answers to the questions that we can't answer right now for ourselves, that haunt people in many ways because of the insecurity that naturally comes when you are born to die. So the idea of intelligent life elsewhere that perhaps has already solved mysteries we haven't offers a fascinating possibility. Because perhaps if we were to discover other worlds with life and be able to interact with alien life somewhere out there in the cosmos, we might learn something so profound about our universe and ourselves in the process that changes everything. Perhaps they have technology or knowledge that could change the course of human history and deepen our understanding of this mysterious existence we call life. So the search for extraterrestrial life is more than just discovering life on distant planets, because ultimately we are right now on a tiny blue planet orbiting just another star in space, wondering, is there anyone else out there, or are we truly alone in the universe? Now, obviously we don't have the answer to this. We can't prove anything, but with billions of stars and potentially billions of habitable planets in our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, the odds suggest that we're likely not alone. And perhaps someday we may finally know for certain. And if we do, it could change everything. So with that, as always, remember, billions of years led to you. So make the most of it.